Who hates working Saturdays? This guy does. Guess what? You're coming along with me. So welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Fell a little bit behind this week. I know it's loud. The heater's on. The parts didn't show up for the Chevrolet till a day late, so I've still got the engine out of this. But I've got to catch up on some things from Friday, so I come in here this morning. Late morning. It's just 10 o'clock, okay? Come on, I sleep in. Anyhow, got a Dodge Compass, Jeep Compass, Patriot, something or other like that out there. Supposedly the speedometer goes crazy, ABS light, traction light, some lights are on. We're gonna go see what's going on with that. We'll let this thing get auto ID'd. What's he drink? Regen Total Body Fuel. Not a sponsor. It's the essence of tobacco. Okay. After this hooks up, we'll read the codes. Right now we have ABS light and a little traction light on. And this car has 154,853 miles. It is a 2012 Jeep Compass Latitude with the big 2.4. And we're going to read the codes. We'll go right to the ABS. That'll probably tell us. Of course, she's dinging at us now. Man, it's kind of a bit nipply out here. Got the seat heater on. Left front wheel speed comparative, right front wheel speed comparative performance. Well, that's a change. I don't know if I've ever done a front wheel bearing slash speed sensor slash anything on these before. 99% of the time it is something with the rear wheels. Well, let's see. I don't even know what... I know these have active wheel speed sensors in the back. I assume in the front also. We're gonna select some data here. I don't know if they, in the rear, what happens to these cars is it's a super chintzy setup, if you can believe that or not. Really crappy design. Left front wheel speed, left front wheel speed. Right front, right rear. Wow, we got lots of wheel speeds here. And the little magnet falls off them is what happens. For some reason we have multiple data streams for wheel speed sensing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it for a shake. This is kind of annoying that it's going to beep. I'll turn you around. We'll go for a little rip here around town. And then, yeah, there's the old Chrysler. And then what are we going to do? We're going to see if any of these things work or what the heck's going on with them. Guy hit my telephone pole out here yesterday. It was hilarious. With a Super. I felt kind of like a jerk. I could have stopped him. It was too fun to watch. My seatbelt is on, just so you know. It's the brake. Whoa. You know what? You know what works better, fella? When you put it in drive. It's the brake light flashing. Alright, hang on. Pop's got you. And right now we have no right front wheel speed signal at all. Right front is at 0, zippo, and now the left front just dropped out. I'm not noticing any abnormalities with the speedometer. It seems to be smooth. Four-wheel drive light is on, ABS light, traction light, and both left front wheel is kind of working. It's bouncing around. Right front is just 0. Now let's pull over here. Brakes are flash rusted. Common problem in New York. Let the car sit for 5 minutes, your brake rotor's flash rust. I got a graph on it now so I can show you. I'm always telling you guys, look at your values, you jerks. And then here I'm driving along. And I'm not even looking at my values or keeping it in my lane. So let's see, can I hold this while we're driving? Let's see. So here's what's going on. We got a big 0 and then left front. Looks like my heart rate. Okay, so now we know what we're dealing with. Let's go back and see. All we have is, we got turn signal. Yeah, there we go, we're turning. We have the little lift. So, looks like both rears are working nice. Hopefully just visual inspection shows us this thing broke. And there we go, hold on. So that's what things look like. Left front quit completely. Let's slow it down. Slow it down, big fella. Maybe it just quits reading data from that wheel because it was working, but now it's not. All right, we better pay attention where we're going. Oh, now it's starting to work again. A little bit. Whoa, cars are coming. There's the old Astro band there. Dead. DOA. Came on the flatbed. And here we go. Barrel. Oh, dropped the nut. I bet that's corroded on. What do you think? Oh, not bad, not bad. Holy street! My fear. So here's my thoughts. You guys want my thoughts? I've given it some. And you're going to get them because it's Saturday and you have no choice unless you hit the X right now. Not your ex-wife, the X in the corner of the screen to get out of this video. My thought is these active wheel speed sensors, they work off the front wheel bearing. Now this is the press-in bearing on this vehicle. And what usually happens is the magnetic ring that's on the back of the vehicle or on the back of the bearing itself falls off or breaks and creates an erratic signal. And frankly, these connectors, because they go all the way up around into the body, and this one's way back and under the cowl, and the other one you can't even see it. They're kind of a pain in the hoo-hoo to get to. So I thought, you know what? Odds are it's a bad bearing, so let's throw some parts at it. No, I didn't think that. I did, but I'm not going to say it out loud. What I want to do is see, more than likely, it's a bad magnetic tone ring. I know these vehicles are prone to this right here, turning into a white glob, can't get the axle out, whole thing turns into a regular show. But I thought if we could get the axle on and off, just push the axle in so we can give a visual inspection. But we're gonna maybe find out that that's not possible, so let's pick away at this a little, see what this looks like, see if it's even possible to put a bearing in it if that's what it's gonna need. We've surpassed the WD-40 at this point. But you never know, sometimes this stuff surprises you. You get it out and you're like, hey, it looks like crap, and then 5 seconds later, things falling apart. I love New York. I don't know if it's really New York's fault. It's the fault of the salt. Has it still got flat spots on it? Probably. Let's get a socket and smash it on there. I don't see any cotter key. Kind of redundant at this point. Start placing your bets. Whether or not it comes off. Get that one back out. Seems like the right size. Yep. Perfect. Well, looky. It came off. There's some pieces. That's the nut. I don't know if it's supposed to have a cage on it. If it is, it doesn't now. It does look like there was a cotter key. Wow, that's hot. There might have been a cotter key there at some point. Now, can we just push it in by hand? We can't, of course. What we'll do is we're going to thread this baby on a little. It went that way. Maybe. It's a little crooked. Not no more, fella. It should go on now. Don't force it. All right, that's on about halfway. Oh, look at me. See if the forcing screw is going to fit. So these things really aren't meant to exert a lot of force because they're, I don't know, pot metal or something. They just don't hold up very well. Unless you get a heavier duty one. My nose is running. Kids go to that public school. Always bringing home stuff. Easy. I think this is 3/4. Yeah, 19, that'll work. Oh! Hallelujah! That thing just pushed in like ain't nobody's business. Now let's see if we can see the magnet. That'd be nice. I'm sitting here pissing and moaning and crying and whining. Enhance, 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 unenhance. There we go. So this is the axle shaft, obviously. The magnetic ring is supposed to be in there. Now when I spin it, I believe the magnetic ring is still in there. I also believe it has a lot of the white crusty. So this stuff right, I gotta look at my screen, this stuff right here is all stuck to the magnetic ring. But I believe the magnetic ring is intact. Now I can't tell because your head's in the way. But I believe, was it the left side that was just acting erratic? Because what I'm thinking, the best I can tell, it's still in there. I'm thinking the other side might be. In the words of Philip Phillips, it's gone, gone, gone. I'm gonna get that blown out. The ABS wheel speed sensor is just up above us. I don't think you guys can see it. Unenhance. You can't because of the angle of your dangle. But that is up in there. I'm gonna clean some of this junk out of there. Look to see if that's intact. Maybe this side's just filthy. Wouldn't that be something? I think I worked on something or other, some kind of vehicle, not too long ago. It actually had a code in it for something insinuating that it may have stuff stuck on the tone ring. It had a specific code for that. Which I was like, well, that's weird. I don't know if it was a Chrysler product or what it was, but basically it said you got stuff on your tone ring. And I looked at it and it was wrong. The tone ring was actually broken on that vehicle, but I thought it was odd that it had that code or had the ability to generate that code. I don't know, the bottom of this tone ring might actually be chewed off. Yeah, maybe. It's a really crap design, at least for our climate now. You know, other places in the world this may work just fine. But here, once they switch to this active wheel speed sensor with exposed tone rings, it all went to pot because, well, obvious reasons. I scraped off all the crusties. So this ring right here at the end of my pick, you got rust, magnet. Pretty well cleaned off all the way around. Looks worse on camera than it does in real life. So that is the magnet. This right here is the edge of the bearing. So this is the inner bearing race. That rust ring right there is where the axle shaft hits the inner race, and that's the exposed edge of the race until it gets to the magnet part. And now that we have it exposed all the way around, it appears to be intact. Does that mean it's good? No, it doesn't. But it's in a heck of a lot better shape than it was. So maybe that's all this side needed. I don't know. But now we know. We know what things look like. We know it has the ability to have a wheel bearing replaced in the event we have to do it unenhanced. I hate working on Saturday. Yes, I do. But we do what we gotta do. Where's my light? We gotta get our axle shaft back in, and there is a cotter key in that. Believe it or not, folks. I know you believe me. We're gonna spritz a little something in there first, though. Let's see, it's a little waffled up here. Let's see if we can't get the edges of it in. There's that side. Get the corrosion off over right there. Come over to this side. Shave it right down. Looks good, looks good. That side we can't get our drill in straight, so we'll come back over this side. See if we can't just trim her right off. And we'll poke it good right in the middle. Oh, she's poked good there. Let's go get a drill bit. Get one you don't like because you're going to break it. We'll use our brand new DeWalt 20 volt max XR. Not a sponsor. It's a DCD 791. Has no brushes in it. Oh, she's looking good. Out she comes. So there we go. We got a big hole. These things use big cotter keys. So that's cleaned out well. I'll let you have a look. Intense. I don't believe that these had a cage from the factory. I could be wrong. I don't believe they do. I think it was just washer. Now let's torque it down. We'll stick a big cotter split pin in there, if you will. Unenhanced. We'll go like this. See if we got 180 in us this morning. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can get that. Get the big hammer. Must have some flat spots right there. Why don't you spray it, bro? Do you really think spray is going to help us in this situation? No, it's not. Junk. something right here that'll make it move. I swear, every time I go pick up my torch, they plug the tip on it. Oh, there we go. I heard it flick out. I actually felt it hit me in the face. Ay, ay, ay. I found this was plugged. They broke my extension cord. Employees! Let's do this. Oh yeah. Party time. No, we're not going to ruin the wheel bearing before we get 800 comments on that. We're just heating up the nut right now. Breaking its bond. Usually doesn't take much. We'll give that a whirl. That's how you're gonna be, huh? You don't wanna mess with Eric. Why? With Eric. Well, can he chew? You ain't nothing but a bunch of rust to me. Trying to rap and rhyme for you folks, but let's be honest, I listen to country music. Because my collar's blue and my neck's red. Now you did it, ding dong. Before we get too far, let's just see if this axle will push in. See if we can even do what we came to do. I think on this side we're going to find the whole magnet's gone. That's my guess. I think 3/4 and 19 are pretty dang close. Not close enough. That only counts hand grenades, horseshoes, and atomic bombs. Oh, look at that. That one pushes right in. Okay, so we're good. However, we have a bit of a dilemma. The axle nut is locked right up on there, tighter than stuff that's tight. I don't want to say anything inappropriate, so I won't. So what we have to do, in an effort to save the axle shaft, save the axles, is we're going to cut that nut off. Because it just spins now with the impact. Doesn't do anything. Those threads are gone on it. We'll just have to get a new axle nut. So I should be able to just chop it off. What do you want me to do? Chop it off, lady? So I'm going to cut each side of it without cutting the threads on the axle, assuming they're good. Yeehaw! There's that. Now, we'll tap it off there, tap the halves off. There's one half. There's the other half. Oh, it chowdered up the axle a smidge. Get that slag off there. So when that axle nut spun, it did chowder up. A little too much rust here, folks. Need to get the cotter key out of our way. Our poking device. Wow, look at that, would you? Got that stuck like Chuck. You believe that cotter key came out? I can't. Woo, that's one. We'll set that down. Now we can push this in. Now we can turn it so we can see what we're doing. What way do I want to go? You know. Sometimes I just make up songs. A little different story on this side, folks. This one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you in there to see it. The top of the speed sensor is chewed off from, let's see if we can get in there. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you. Let's see. Get this out of the way. Get this down here. Alright, bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Try to give you the best angle so we can all see. Everybody can be happy. Ah, crap. You guys aren't going to be able to see it. So that in there, that little black nub with the salt on it, that's the speed sensor. And it's chewed just about in half. It's not even in line with the magnet anymore because of the amount of rust on the CV axle itself has whittled away at that speed sensor, and it's got it about halfway chewed off. It's got it chewed right into a V shape. Stick my head in here. Yes, sir. I wish I could get you a little better shot there, maybe. Get out where I can see. You can just see the edge of it. It's just nothing but a nub. So to see what we need for this side, we're going to temporarily install an axle nut back on there. So that's back on. I got to bother a cotter pin in it. What I want to know is if we throw the tires on it, if that side over there is working. I should have looked closer at that speed sensor over there. I'm wondering now if the tip of that one was chowdered down too. Now that this one is a lot worse, so I might have to push that axle back in over there just to have a better look. Let's see if we can just run this right on the lift. Nice. Well, mostly we want to see if our left's working. Our right, I don't expect to work at all. Our wheel should be off the ground. Why did it say no data? So our left front appears to be working. Communication failure, no controller available. Stinking stink pot. Tool. So before, even at slow speeds, that left front was dropping out. We might actually have to drive it down the road. Might not like running here on a lift. So it seems to be working. Either our right front's, oh, can you guys see? Why does it look out of focus? Doesn't like shifting here on the lift. But we can see that our left front appears to be working, so that's good. We got flash and four-wheel drive. We got more stinking lights on now than we ever had before. Full drive lights flashing. But the good news is, I don't think we're gonna have to do anything to that left front. Actually, let me just slow down here to get our graph to the stupid auto ranging feature. I hate that part of this tool. Let's see. So we can see our left front, the one that was going haywire, is no longer. So that one seems to be working just well. So that's good. That one was just rusting the crust around the ring. Of course, as I mentioned, I do want to pull that back out to make sure there's not a lot of crust buildup on that axle shaft and hopefully prevent a future problem. Oh, must be the new Chevys don't come with turn signals. Never mind. We won't go road rage. I think I can hold Dewey in this, can I? So we look good even up at speed. I know it's probably kind of wicked. Let me get around this corner so I can drive with my knee. There we go. Not my weenie. So that looks good. I'm happy with that one. So there's the code we have right now. Right front wheel, speed, comparative performance. Does it compare to the other ones? So judgmental. We made it. So that's that, folks. You probably more than likely disagree with my process that I went about. We didn't break out anything fancy. Why is that? Because rust. I know rust. And it's really dark, poor camera angle. Experience leads me on the path of this diagnosis. Could I have been wrong? Absolutely. We got a little lucky on the left side. Honestly, I thought we were going to find broken magnets. The majority of the time is what you find on these. As I mentioned in the beginning, though, I don't usually see a lot of problems in the front wheel bearings. You know, as a general rule, we have problems with the rears on these. This style, or this design, inherently has problems in the rust belt, you know, just given the way that it's made. We could see on the left side, hopefully you could see that there was just rust and junk build up on there, disrupting that magnetic force field, we'll call it magnetic field. And that was also, you could see that reflected in the scan tool data when we were driving, and you know, it was kind of working. You know, the speed signal would go up and then down, up and down, up. You know, it was getting real glitchy. That usually coincides with either a broken ring, a defective ring. I think I did a video on a brand new Moog wheel bearing we put in that had a bad spot in it, brand new, perfectly intact. Or evidently if you get a bunch of junk on it like we did on this one. So what I would suggest to this customer is we do the right side CV shaft, the right side bearing, because we're going to have it apart, and then the right side speed sensor. We're going to have to drill that out. Everything's, you know, rusted together. Am I buying him the axle shaft? Absolutely not. It is not my fault that cars rust and don't come apart. You know, if he could have done it better in his driveway, it wouldn't have been, you know, at my shop. So it's just par for the course, folks. That's what happens. Things get rusty. They get stuck together. Hallelujah, we got the left side apart. The right side didn't come apart. We used the smoke wrench. No big deal. Calm down. I know some folks get a little bit wound up about that. Like, dude, I'd stuff your face in a garbage can if you did that to my car. I'm here anytime. Stop on by. And while you're here, why don't you go down there into that comment box, leave your question, comment, criticism, concern. While you're down there, subscribe, ring that bell. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. Follow up for you, folks. Got to interrupt. You're going to be famous, Josh.
All right.
So Josh got the speed sensor out this side. I don't know if you guys can see it, if it'll focus, but you can see it there on the tip. It's ground down to the metal innards. And believe it or not, he told me this thing pulled right out. If we ever wanted to get it out, it'd never come out. So he put the new one in. So there's a new sensor. Of course, he's putting the new bearing in. You don't have the old bearing you took out, do you, Josh? Did it fall to pieces, did it? Yep. So there's our old bearing. And we can see that actually, you know, the magnet's still pretty intact on there as we discovered when we first diagnosed it. But figured because we're here and we're putting the CV shaft in it, there you go, thank you, that we would replace that, because that's the only thing that would make sense. And he has the CV shaft out, that's over there. And then on this side, I had Josh pull the CV shaft, push it back in, and clean the rust off the outside edge that caused the damage on that sensor. And then I had to get this from Chrysler, the little castle nut cap, and there's a wavy washer that goes behind there. So you can carry on, Josh, don't let me stop you. So where are they? not a sponsor. But here's the old CV shaft. That's what happened there when she seized up on there. And then this rust ring right here is what damaged the speed sensor. Unfortunately, this rust buildup here. So that's that. It is getting fixed. There's our new bearing. New snappy ring. One new nut, because I wasn't sure. Well, we got two new nuts. I didn't know if the new CV shaft, we don't have the shaft yet. And that goes on, it goes all the way through the transfer case on this thing. So kind of a weird little setup. Goes way in there, way into the hole, way in the back. That's it, folks. Enjoy your day.